Guys, welcome back to another game review. This was a game that I played last night. You know what? Hold on. My noise canceling. Okay. It was on. I could hardly hear myself. It's weird. This is a game I played last night. Little private group, private court, in Caleb Quakel's backyard. And you know what? How could I forget? I need my pen. Always need the pen. This is Caleb. He's my coach. This is also Caleb, aka me. This is Marcus and Asa, who I am playing against. I am playing with. See if I can find him. Where'd you go? Oh, I'm playing with none other than Mr. Morgan. I say that like you would know him. You probably wouldn't. But he's a really strong grass player. Not to say he's not good at beach, but he's like an open level grass player, solid through and through. And I think when he comes out to beach, just because he doesn't play it a ton, he takes a while to get into it and warm up. But generally speaking, especially his swing and serve are really strong. And yeah, you know what? I don't want to spoil anything in the game. Let's go through it. I think typically in the game reviews, especially when I'm watching pro games, I try to make it equal parts like analysis and also entertainment. But with this, I just want to focus on the analysis because, I mean, it's my game. The whole point of me being out here, like in coach's backyard and playing, is so I can improve and be coached and all of that. So I'm just going to focus on the analysis here. Also, as you can see, I'm watching this in my ball time account, and there's some cool things we can do in here. One thing I want to set actually is reception. I want to set to see, basically it'll give a rating for every pass, which I think is really cool. Maybe we'll be able to recognize some patterns with that, so I'm going to turn that on. And then, is there anything else I want to turn on? Oh, this is cool. It kind of shows you like speed of serves and attacks and things like that. So anyway, let's watch. Morgan serves into the net to start. Unfortunate. That's how it goes. Okay, serve into the net from Asa. So we got 1-1 now. A serve for a serve. I'm up. What a rip. Okay. And I really like the serve. This is a strong serve. I've been working on this, and it has gotten so much better. At some point, I'll have to show you guys like the footage of the first night that Caleb was trying to teach me how to hybrid serve, because it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. This is really nice. I like serving down the middle. It forces them to make a decision and to communicate. And most teams, especially at AA level, I even see this in AVP games. Like a serve down the middle is a great free point sometimes. I wonder, wait. I can't see. It probably gave that pass like a rating of 1. It goes 0 to 3, basically. So anyway, Marcus, maybe not warmed up all the way, hits it out, whatever. We got 2 on. I like the serve. It has some pace on it. It's not anything crazy, though. You know what I noticed, actually, is I feel like after that last serve, Asa kind of shifted over a bit. I almost would have liked to see me go for his line here or something a bit more challenging. Because I think I was clearly going for the middle serve again, but it didn't work because he scooted over. Anyway. Rip from Asa, but it's out. No tag. Sorry, Marcus. 3-1. I'm still serving. Oof. This happens a lot, I notice. Like, my serves that have the most pace on them go into the net. And I think the reason for this, I'm going to break it down for anybody who's also into jump serving or hybrid serving, is you're supposed to toss it in front of you. Like, from what I understand, and from what I've been practicing, you want the ball to land somewhere in here. Okay, this is disappearing way too fast. We got to turn the clock up on this one. You want it to land somewhere in here. Like, after you toss the ball, it should be in this zone. And so you almost have to... Oh, man, this is something like... I'm going to spend some time talking about this because this is really important. If you're at AA level or below, like, we all struggle with this, so don't lie. We're all in the same boat here. Which is like, we are early to everything. We have this fear that we don't trust our athleticism and we're not going to make it to the ball. And so what happens is when we attack, we're always under the ball. We're always like reaching up like this. And our attacks suck. And our serves like are not as challenging as they could be because we're like tossing it on top of ourselves. It's like, dude, put it in front of you. Get after it. Go be athletic. Go run to the ball. And so actually, I think what's happening on these is I am doing that, but the issue is I'm not tossing it high enough. And so my contact point is low and I'm hitting really hard. And then you get that. So, anyway, note to self, be more athletic. Serve to Morgan outside his midline. He passes it great. Bump set. Maybe not an ideal set for Morgan. He is a lefty after all, and I think this is traveling outside of his body a little bit. But whatever, it works. And just so you guys know, we're playing to 15. We're doing match play with the king court, so basically going to 15 every single time after every game. We swap partners. Morgan serve. 4-2. To Asa's mid. He gets it. Wow, big swing from Asa. Okay, what went wrong here? So Asa does a great job of passing this, even though it almost looks like Marcus was considering getting it. Let's watch this in half speed. Let's see. Okay, I'm watching two things here. I'm watching my block and I'm watching Morgan. So let's look at my block first. Yeah, I see the problem. That was easy. Look at my hands. What am I doing? This is not how you block. It's unfortunate. It's annoying because, like, I just learned the day before how to correctly block, and now I'm back on my BS. Back on my bad habits. Look at me. I'm like this. This is not how you block. You're supposed to put your hands out like this because this is how you break fingers, and that's literally what happened to me not too long ago. So you have to be like this because you not only get more coverage, but you avoid breaking your fingers. I'm also too narrow. I need to be like shoulder width apart. See that? Like how I'm pressing in needs to be more like here. I wonder if you can, hope you can see the difference there. And also, another note for anybody who's like trying to be a better blocker. I think a lot of us, as I'm doing here, we like go up and then press, almost out of fear of touching the net. Really what we have to do, if we can figure it out, is like up and press at the same time. Instead of that, it's like one motion. Because honestly, let's look at this ball here. That is not, like, it's a great swing, don't get me wrong, but I'm not far away from blocking that ball. And I might even catch a piece of it and be able to slow it down had I been blocking correctly. Or maybe Asa would have just hit differently. He maybe would have done something a bit safer if I put up a bigger block. Morgan did a good job there. He was in the right spot. Just, it's tough. It's a big swing. Okay, we don't need to watch the game on half speed. So we got 3-4 side switch. Asa serves to me. Nice pickup. What was wrong there? Okay, so number one, I'm obviously not expecting this outside of a set. Not necessarily Morgan's fault. I think one thing I'm realizing as I'm learning more and getting better and improving is a lot of us complain about our setter, but especially in beach where we're doing like higher tempo sets where we literally have time to just watch the ball before we go hit it. I don't know. Like, this is not a bad enough set to where I should fail this epically. As you can see, I try and take my adjustment step here, but really what I should be doing is I should wait a second, see the ball, take a step out, and then approach. So like, what I end up doing is going in and then going out, when in reality, I should take a step in, correct, and then attack. Because that is lousy, and then it's just a lost point. I need to work on that. I'm going to work on that today. Ace to serve, 4-4 to Morgan, down the middle. Bump set, a little far outside his body once again, but Asa gets it good up. Ooh, and just catches him deep. Yeah, that's annoying. 5-4. Short serve to me once again. Nice up. Better set that time, and I actually, this time I am wise and I kick out more. And I'm able to tool the block. Still a lousy hit though. Like, just lousy. And then I serve out. I don't know if you can hear me. I say it's so lame. That's really true. Okay, down the middle to Morgan. Great pass. Hand set. See, this is one thing that's challenging for me here with the way Morgan approaches, and I think this is just his grass, you know, expertise coming into play here. But like, he's just going straight, which as a lefty in this case is really challenging for me, because unless I set him true middle, like in this zone, I don't know, like, because it's crazy, because look how far this set is away from the antenna still. Hold on. Let's pause it. Look at how much room he has here on this side of the court. The ball is like gonna land here. But even then, despite that, he still has to hit it with his right arm because it's like an overset. Just challenging. It's like a kind of a byproduct of me not playing with Morgan a lot, number one, and Morgan not playing a lot of beach. Those two things together, just like, I think we were struggling to find the setting groove this game for him, unfortunately. Oh, I like that shot. I like that. What I don't like is how quiet it is. Wish there was more communication happening right now. But that's a nice shot. I see the block. I get it deep here. I think, like, if we watch this ball, where's it going to land? Let's see if we follow the trajectory. It's probably landing somewhere around here. So that's a pretty nice spot. Marcus is almost there, but really like that. Morgan serves to Marcus. We got 6-7. It's a nice set from Asa. And once again, what am I doing? Dude, okay. This is a great example. I want you to visualize. Look at my hands. So they're like this, right? Imagine they're like this. Just imagine. That ball's going right back in his face. We'll get it. We'll figure it out eventually. 6-8, side switch, serve to Morgan. Weird pass, I fix it. And I should know better than this. This is a simple mistake, something we should all be thinking about. If we get an out-of-system pass like this and you're kind of scurrying around on the court to get it, you should not set this tight. Let me draw these lines really quick. So if we say, let's say this is the midline here, right? And then we'll call this 10 foot. That seems about right. So when you're set out of system, a lot of times we talk about you should be setting your partner 5 to 8 feet off the net, just depending on their preference, their athleticism, maybe how bad of a pass it is. And in this case, I set up against the net, and that is not ideal because Morgan is kind of waiting in the back behind the 10-foot line to see what's going on. So really, like, I should be setting somewhere in this zone. Somewhere in here. Instead, I put it tight. And then we lose the point. Just important for me to keep in mind. There's no reason the ball should go that tight. Okay, the ink can disappear now. Please? Okay, that works. Okay, we get a free point, though, back from Asa. So it is now 7-9. I'm up to serve. And once again, into the net. You guys like this jersey? I found it on eBay. I like thrifted it for like $10. I like it because I think it when you have like a jersey on like, with a proper number, the AI and the ball time like has an easier time recognizing you. I call hands on myself here. Now that I'm watching it back. Yeah. We, like, when we train with the group of guys I typically play with, we're pretty strict on our hand calls. Like, we really focus on the ball looking super clean. And so, it's funny because most people, when they play with us for the first time, like, even Asa, you can't hear him say it, but afterwards he's like, I thought it was fine. And honestly, even Caleb probably thought it was fine as well, which is funny because he's an AVP player. But like, I don't know. It's kind of like my mindset with handsets. I feel like it should be non-negotiable. Like everybody should look at that ball and be like, "Oh, that was a beautiful set." Otherwise, okay, this is much better. Do a good job of keeping off the net. Honestly, why can't Morgan slam this? Maybe just weird approach. I don't know. He still gets a great shot out of it. We get a free ball, bump set. That's money. He can slam way harder than that. Just so we're clear, like the dude can delete the ball. But that's a nice seam shot, and it's free, so whatever. We currently are at 8-11. Morgan serves. Gets Marcus short. Am I dumb? I might be. Basically what happens is he free balls it over, but it's so low, I almost don't even think it's going to come over, and then I poke it into the net. That's silly. Okay. But we get another free point back, so it's okay. Side switch, 9-12. I also realized we're switching on 7s, even though we're playing to 15, which is kind of silly. We should be switching every 5. Rip to Asa. That was honestly a free serve, but whatever. Oh. Nice. Nice play, Morgan. Something I really want to mention. I heard Taylor Crabb talking about this, how like everybody thinks as the defender, you need to read the attacker. But the issue is, if you as the defender are always reading the attacker, you're always going to be a step behind. You just will. Like, it's so, they're going to hit fast, they're making decisions, you can't be a step behind them. You need to know where they're going to go, or have some idea. And so what he says is, don't think of it as you need to read the attacker. Realize the attacker is reading you as the defense, and you can use that to your advantage. So basically, like, combine with your block call. If you know that, okay, I can trust my block for like this area of the court, that is his responsibility. So let's actually draw this out. Let's break it down. So in this case, I know Morgan is going to block Engel. I believe that's his call. And so I know, or at least feel, I can trust that he can... I need permanent ink, please. I have a feeling I can trust that he has this. Okay. I don't need to cover that. And then I also know he has a little area around him that he is responsible for. Somewhere around here. Maybe even, honestly, over here a little bit. So, if I do a lousy job of coloring that in really quick, I hope these illustrations are worth it and you find this valuable. I know for me it's valuable, so whatever. And that leaves this. So basically a nice, like, sharp angle or a cut shot. It leaves potentially parts of the seam. And then it leaves a line. Either like a pokey dink line or a high line. So with all that in mind, Morgan goes up to block and I initially show the seam. So I'm showing that I... Look. This is intentional, by the way. I'm only making this point because this is something I felt very conscious of. This was like, I try to go out with an intention every time I play. And for me tonight, it was like, okay, show something on defense. Try to control the attacker a little bit. And so I show my momentum going this way. Into the seam, potentially even into the cut shot. Or like that sharp angle. And so last second, I shift over. And... I'm there. It's not a beautiful up, and I'm not in the perfect spot, but I'm in a good enough spot where we're able to convert, and we get a point. So that was kind of a long illustration and explanation on maybe a kind of lousy play overall, but it just goes to show. Like, if I had... I mean, imagine the reverse of what so many players do and what I often did, was you just trust your block is sitting in this angle, and so you just hang out in the line. But then it's like, what? Then you got to race the ball to the seam or even this cut. You're not getting that cut shot if he goes there. So I don't know. These are the things I was trying to think about, and it's cool to see like an example that I can illustrate for you here. Okay, so we get the point. Very crafty shot by Morgan. I'm up to serve. Nice. Really like this serve. This is actually kind of becoming my favorite serve. It was really frustrating to train at first, but this, like, it kind of depends on the wind. But this angle to angle to this person's line, because you know what it is? Oftentimes, if we split the court in half here, he is feeling like he's responsible for all of this, maybe even like here. And so he is naturally, especially considering he's facing this way. Sorry, these markings are so ugly. But like, especially considering he's facing that way, like, and you see it in this clip, we play it in quarter speed. Oh, love this serve. He like has to shift his weight and almost like it's really hard for him to get behind the ball, basically, is what I'm saying. And so if you can rip it to that spot where that ball is landing, it's a really tough serve. Man, this makes me want to just like stop doing this game review and go practice it more, because that is just such a fun serve. But yeah, I get an ace. Let's see what I go for here. Let's see if I go for it again. I try, but I think it's always weird after an ace. I feel like you, in your head, you're like, you want to go for the same shot, but because you're telling that yourself that, you also want to be conservative and play it safe. I don't know. It's just tough. So I kind of give him a free ball, but I get another ace? No. I'll take it. I guess ace had just overpassed it a little bit. All right, so I'm 2 for 2. Going for a third. Wow, it's out. What happened? Let's see if we can look. I just hit the ball on the bottom half. That's what happens. I jumped plenty high. I think I was just tired, honestly. Need to get my conditioning up. Okay, Marcus to serve. Close game. 13-12. Bump set to the middle. Okay, it's a free ball. Oh, wow. Marcus. What a great read. That's a good try. I remember in the game being like afraid. I was thinking, well, that's a great shot and that's a free point. But it ended up going out. But shout out Marcus here. What a read on the defense. To run all the way over here. He's so good at reading my cut shots. It's like, Marcus, how do you know I'm not going to swing deep angle? Jerk. And it's just out. We'll take it. So tie game now, 13-13. Morgan serves to Marcus. Nice. Goes middle. Not sure what happens here. I mean, my block isn't amazing. We've already been over that. I think maybe Morgan looks like he kind of tripped a little bit. Just lost his footing. Maybe also playing a little shallow in the court, all things considered. But that's okay. 14-13 point. Serve to me. Get a nice pass. Oh, nice. That's a brave shot, because reading their defense, he's clearly blocking line. There's always more line, baby. So I go for like a high line over him. Now we got a tie game. It is 14-14. I'm serving. And that is not how you do it. That is not the way. Yeah, that's dumb. Oh well. Serve to Morgan. Oh. Do you know what that blue line means? That means ball time thinks Morgan just gave the only perfect pass of the game. Well done, Morgan. Well done. It seems a little tight to the net, in my opinion. But maybe ball time just likes that it's a little tighter because that means you have more options. And I mean literal options. Like you can take an option ball. Take it on 2. Ooh. And you know what? I think that's the first ball Morgan's really been able to swing on. Unfortunately, it tags the net. And then... I just knew I wasn't going to get there. I was just hoping it would be out, and it was not. It bounced the line. And then that's the game, 16 to 14. As you can tell, I wasn't too upset. It was a fun game. Hope you guys enjoy this more like in-depth analysis style of video. I really enjoy making them like this, and I feel like I get a lot more out of it. But open to the feedback in the comments. Let me know. I have another game from this evening. I'm going to try and get it out as soon as possible, maybe even like tonight or something. We'll see. Peace.